Call from mom. Answer it. Call silenced.
Instacart knows nothing gets between you and the game. That's why they make ordering from your couch easy. Stock up today and get all your groceries for the week delivered in as fast as 30 minutes without missing a minute of the game.
You have 47 new voicemails.
Download the app to get free delivery on your first 3 orders while supplies last. Minimum $10 per order. Additional terms apply.
Save on Cox Internet when you add Cox Mobile and get fiber-powered internet at home and unbeatable 5G reliability on the go. So whether you're playing a game at home,
yes, goal,
or attending one live, you can do more without spending more. Learn how to save at cox.com/internet. Cox Internet is connected to the premises via coaxial cable. Cox Mobile runs on the network with unbeatable 5G reliability as measured by Ookla LLC in the U.S. 2H 2023. Results may vary, not an endorsement. Other restrictions apply.
Have you ever covered a carpet stain with a rug? Ignored a leaky faucet? Pretended your half-painted living room is supposed to look that way? Well, you're not alone. We've all got unfinished home projects. Whether it's a door that sticks, or a disorganized closet, or an AC unit that only works half the time. It all matters. You just haven't taken care of it yet. But there's an easier way. Just download the Thumbtack app. You can search for what you need done and find tons of highly rated pros right in your neighborhood. Check prices, reviews, and book a pro right on the spot. Plus, you'll know what to tackle next, because Thumbtack is the app that shows you what to do, who to hire, and when. Pull out your phone and in just a few taps, say goodbye to all those unfinished home projects and say hello to caring for your home the easier way. Download Thumbtack and start a project today.
Showtime. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Are you ready?
Ready.
This is the Bob and Jeff Show, starring Bob Lutz.
We're getting Ricky Skaggs on this show. Remind me? You really don't know Ricky Skaggs.
Jeff Lutz.
Son of the late, great Boz Skaggs.
You're funny.
I'm so funny, it's almost hard to bear.
97.5 and 1240 KFH.
I am so totally turned on right now I could spit.
Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. Welcome to a Monday edition of the Bob and Jeff Show. KFH Radio. Bob Lutz, Jeff Lutz co-hosting. Max Power, producing, engineering. We'll be here for the next couple of hours. Quite a day. April 15th, Tax Day, Jackie Robinson Day. You name it, it's that day. How you been?
Guardians win day. We already won. Already won today. Beautiful. Won yesterday, won today.
Read the text you sent me Saturday.
It's crazy how fortunes change. Like you don't know this
Read
already.
me the text you sent me Saturday.
I don't have it. I deleted all my texts.
Read it.
I don't have it.
You have it.
I don't.
All right, I'll read it. Here's the text
and
I got from Jeff
Why
Lutz
is this anything that matters to me would be the question.
Out of the blue, Saturday at 6:10 p.m. Guardians are in a lot of trouble. I reply, how so? Can't pitch or hit. Defense is shaky. Other than that, they're fine. So there you go.
Yeah, and they've won 2 cents, so who cares? Who cares what I said 72 hours ago? Meaningless. 11-5.
Not even 48 hours ago.
Dominating victory. It was Saturday.
Yeah.
Saturday
Not
afternoon.
even 48 hours ago.
It was about 48. Pitched their butts off today. Came back with a gritty win yesterday and extras. I'm flying high. I'm doing great. So
what a pathetic fan you are.
Pathetic?
An absolute pathetic.
Are you not the exact same?
No.
You're not.
Have I texted you that the Cardinals are horrible?
Yeah, and they are horrible.
When? When did I text you that?
You've always texted me that. And you've always said that. Oh, I can't believe we're playing Brandon Crawford. Yeah, let's enter into reality at some point.
Yeah, but then I am reality, and you should be based in reality too.
Okay,
the Guardians aren't that good.
My reality is 6-0, 11-5.
You didn't do anything against Boston's starting pitcher. Fortunately, you got into their bullpen. And what
did they do against our bullpen?
Did some things against them.
Nothing.
Listen, it's not a good team.
Why are they in first?
And you're not a good fan, frankly.
I'm the best fan.
just to out of the blue attack him like that. I was turned off by that.
No, you weren't.
Yes, I was.
No, you weren't.
I was.
No, you weren't.
That's why I said I gave you a very
You
short.
said baseball's tough. Baseball's difficult.
Right.
And
I wanted you not to continue.
Okay.
Because it's sad to me that a fan would turn on his team that quickly.
Shut up.
No, really.
Is this a bit that you're doing?
No. You were still 9-5 after that
Okay,
doubleheader
did I watch
loss.
every pitch? I mean, I can be frustrated with my team. It's not like I've given up on them. I've been with them for 30 years. 30.
Let me reread the text.
Do whatever you need to
This
do.
sounds like somebody who's given up.
Yeah, I've given up.
Guardians are in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, that was my last day as a Guardians fan. You captured it.
A lot of trouble.
Somehow 2 seconds later I returned.
Listen, it's early in the season. As much as you want to react, you can't because there's so much of the season left to play. And I'm not going to get caught up in it.
You know your team's bad. All evidence suggests that they're going to.
I don't think they're bad. I just don't know that they're good.
In dead last in the National League Central.
So we'll see how it plays out. Nothing that's happened to date has shown me that there's great improvement in the Cardinals, but I like Mason Wynn, and I like Ivan Herrera. So there's a couple of building pieces, perhaps. We'll see.
Perhaps.
I'm not going to get caught up in it. Today's Jackie Robinson Day. Every player in Major League Baseball will be wearing the numeral 42 on his back. And tonight at McAdams Park, we begin our season with League 42. And it's been quite a day already. Woke up this morning to the story on ESPN.com. Anthony Oliveri did a tremendous job. I don't know if you've read it.
I have.
Did an outstanding job reporting that story. Lengthy story. And I learned a lot, especially about the investigation. Some of those things I did not know. And I'm happy that ESPN was able to get to some of those details.
Talk to some people. Talk to the police. Talk to the district attorney. So good for them. Good for him.
And then Saturday, Clinton Yates and a crew from ESPN was here during our festivities over at McAdams Park. And they're preparing a lengthy video feature on League 42. And tonight out at McAdams Park, Jerry Brewer and his photographer, whose name escapes me, unfortunately, and photographers, as we know, are as vital as anyone to the journalistic process. But Jerry Brewer from the Washington Post will be out there. I met with him earlier today. It's quite remarkable what's happening.
How come he's not here chronicling this?
Why would he? Why would you trying to forge yourself into the story?
Some additional color, some.
Are you trying to forge yourself?
I just think, hey, this is what he does during the day. This.
Well, Jerry's going to be on with us at 2:25. You can tell him about it.
Moderately entertaining radio host by day. Man
we
of
can
the
all
people
hear you
by
try
night.
to weasel yourself into the story at 2:25.
I was surprised I wasn't included, but that's it's fine.
Jeff, I want you to sit and tell me seriously, what inclusion would there be?
See how easy that was? Of course I don't want to or think I should be included.
Well, I mean, if somebody said I want to talk to the offspring of the founder, I don't know why. I don't know.
Do they even know? I don't have any reason to believe they should know I exist, and let's keep it that way.
Really, you want to keep it that way?
Kinda, yeah.
Well, Jerry Brewer's going to know.
Well, he doesn't need to know that I'm your son, and just come.
I already told him.
Oh my goodness.
Had a good meeting
you
with
think he's
him.
Quoting me on this interview? Is he gonna have his recorder
You're trying to weasel your way in.
All right.
I don't see any chance you're going to be mentioned in any of this.
What am I supposed to ask Jerry?
I don't know. You don't have to ask him anything.
Well, what's kind of the tone of the interview? What do we?
I want to talk to him about this story he's doing on Jackie Robinson. We're just part of the story. He's talking to others. There's 3 facets of the story that Jerry's working on for the Washington Post, And it's really fascinating. And he's gone down this path, and he's working on this story. At the same time, he's working on a big story about Luka Doncic with the Dallas Mavericks and trying to tell his story of being a franchise icon who's from a different country and kind of following the footsteps of Dirk Nowitzki in some way. It's a really interesting story he's doing on Luka Doncic.
Well, I'm looking forward to reading both of those pieces.
As you should.
When do we know a publication date for
I don't.
the Jackie Robinson?
I don't.
Okay.
You can ask him.
Not going to
Jerry
rush the
Brewer
kid.
from the Washington Post will join us at 2:25. Had an interesting conversation with him. Grew up in Paducah, Kentucky, which is kind of Cardinal country. And I made the mistake of asking, well, Jerry, since you kind of like baseball, obviously, and you grew up in Paducah, Kentucky, which isn't too far from St. Louis, are you a Cardinals fan? And, of course, I got shot right in the face.
He's a Cubs fan.
Grew up watching WGN.
Well, didn't we all? Thank
How
goodness
come you didn't go to the
Thank goodness
Cubs?
I escaped the Cubs and the Braves, because that would have been very predictable. I went with the Cleveland Indians. Now they're the Guardians. It's just, what a story it's been. Maybe Jerry should do a story on my 30-year journey.
Your roller coaster. This team's terrible. 1 hour, and then they win a couple, and they're back in your good grace.
Absolutely.
Pathetic.
Guardians know where their bread is buttered.
Where was your mind when you sent me that text the other day?
Disgusted.
Why? They were competitive in the first game.
Not really. They scored 2 runs on an error that should have ended the inning. They didn't hit, and they didn't hit really in the second game, so I was disgusted.
Well, isn't that something you're going to have to come to grips with? They're not a good offensive team.
They're averaging 5.5 runs a game. I think they've been fine offensively. But sometimes the law of averages goes the other way, and it's.
I just don't.
And it was the Yankees, too, which made it even more disgusting.
I just don't see it.
Just not a Yankees fan. Has there ever been a whinier franchise in sports?
Yeah, there has been a whinier.
Aaron Boone, I mean, ugh.
Well, you can like or dislike the Yankees. That's certainly not something I'm going to get involved in.
You know you don't like the Yankees.
At 320, I don't mind the Yankees.
Really?
You know, they're not in my league. The teams I don't like are in my league. I don't like the Brewers. I don't like the Reds.
Well,
I
you
don't
play
like
everybody
the
now.
I don't like the Cubs. Yeah, I can't think of an American League team that I have disdain for. I don't think there is one. As I sit here and
well, when you play them, you'll hate them. And I'm talking about
like the Astros.
Everybody.
Yeah, I don't know. You know, I wouldn't say I like the Diamondbacks, but I don't hate them. They just took 2 out of 3. There's teams I don't like, big time. And those are the teams that are in the National League Central.
Well, you hate to get shut down by a guy you traded.
Well, I mean,
Zach Gallen.
We're so far in the past of that.
I hear you, but it's
can't hold on to these things.
Gift that keeps on giving.
Good pitcher.
He is.
Traded him and Alcantara in the Marcell Ozuna trade.
And Marcell Ozuna, the best hitter in baseball early on in the season.
Well, that won't last.
Well, he's crushing the baseball.
Yeah, he's a good hitter. And he's playing in a lineup that provides him the opportunity to be a good hitter because you can't pitch around anybody in the Braves lineup.
No, that's a very dangerous lineup. We'll see what happens with their pitching now that they've lost Spencer Strider. And
well, it'll hurt them.
Max Fried hasn't been great early on, so, you know, we still expect the Braves to be there.
Dodgers pitching has hurt them. They've given up a lot of runs. They've given up 14 walks in their game last night against the Padres. So their pitching hasn't.
They walked 14?
Outside of Tyler Glasnow, their pitching has not stepped up. The team with the best records in the National League both belong to the National League Central. Milwaukee and Pittsburgh are combined 21-9. Who would have ever thought that?
I don't think anybody.
The Yankees have the best record in the American League, followed by the Guardians and the Royals. Who would have ever thought that?
Probably
these,
nobody.
These teams that you don't think much of are doing okay.
I mean, it's better to start 11-5 than 5-11. To your point, it doesn't necessarily mean much, but it's better than the alternative.
Well, I'll tell you this: Miami's 3-13, they're done. Colorado's 4-12, they're done.
Yes, the White Sox are obvious.
Houston's 6-11, wouldn't count them out yet.
Well, duh.
White Sox 2-13, they're done. So 3 teams are done. 3 teams might as well report to spring training.
That's sad, isn't it?
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be a fan.
145 games of meaningless baseball.
Here's how I've made it palatable when the Cardinals are not good. I follow their minor league affiliates very closely, and I get some joy out of that.
That's good.
Yeah, it is good.
Anybody on the horizon?
It is good. Thank you for noticing.
You're welcome. You didn't answer my question.
I'd have to look. They got some pitchers who are off to good starts. Tink Hintz was dominant. You know, you hope that some of these guys pan out. But as I've learned over the years, when you get too dependent upon prospects, you can really get bitten.
This is true.
Because no matter how highly regarded the prospect is, nothing happens until they get to the big leagues and show they can play there. Now, Baltimore, it seems like every prospect that comes through their system can hit.
Yeah, they hit at all the same time, too. So that's what happens.
You better get a hitter with your number 1 pick this.
Well, then there's no way they're going to take a pitcher.
That's what I said. You better get a hitter.
Right. It'll be Condon or Bazana.
Well, you better hope it is.
Well, it will be.
Well, no, you better hope. I wouldn't trust them.
Why? This is once in a lifetime. The Guardians aren't this team that's going to finish dead last and pick first.
That Wake Forest first baseman might be in the mix.
Maybe.
Kurtz, is that his name?
Yeah, Nick Kurtz.
We'll see.
The Florida guy is pretty good. Jack Caniglione.
So our Masters picks, looks like you win.
Oh, duh.
And thank you. You picked Ludwig Aberg, which that's the reason you won. You did have all 5 of your golfers make the cut.
Correct.
Duda had only 2, including the winner, Scotty Scheffler, who finished 11 under. But Duda didn't even qualify to win in our match. I did, but I was 4 shots behind you.
At least you got under par.
And 4 of my 5 did make the cut. So really, Duda, who's quote-unquote our golf expert, which is laughable, by the way, and I hope he's listening, doesn't have a clue about golf.
Well, it doesn't seem like it.
You could just pick them out of thin air.
He's overthinking it. I mean, Harmon,
Brian
Hovland,
Harmon,
Clark.
Wyndham Clark. I mean, sounds like 2 guys that run an insurance firm.
My number 1 pick did not perform, Matsuyama, but I got Aberg.
You got lucky. Admit it.
Aberg, Zalatoris, and Straka. Pretty good.
They were fine.
I mean, everybody had someone up near the top. You had Max Homa at 4 under, Schauffele at 1 under. You probably should have won this thing.
And I'll win the next one. Well, the problem was Rory McIlroy didn't get it done for me.
He did not. He wasn't bad, but he wasn't good enough.
So yesterday I'm out at one of our practices, my team's practice, at McAdams Park, and I park adjacent to the west field. And I don't normally do that except when we practice and we got to unload equipment from the back of my car. Last kid to hit
Foul ball.
Foul ball, smash. I don't see it. I say, that better not have hit my car. And, of course, the players say, well, sorry, but it did. And I think they're kidding at first. And it broke the sunroof.
Oh, no.
So now I get up this morning. I call Safelite. They got to order the sunroof. And I'll wait to hear from them in the next day or 2. But, you know, how much can one man stand? How much can one man?
That's tough.
How much can one man take?
Thank goodness it's nice weather out today.
Now, I want you to think about it.
It's not raining, is it?
Do you care?
A little bit.
Does a part of you go, man, this poor guy?
No.
Really?
No, things happen.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that.
It's not that bad of a hardship.
Nah,
It's an inconvenience.
we'll get through it.
Certainly not something you want to deal with, but you will, and then it'll be fine.
Things happen.
Exactly.
Things happen.
Did you set up the show today? Is it just our
I did. We got Jerry Brewer, and then we got a Bob and Jeff draft coming up in hour number 2. We'll get deeper into baseball a little bit later, but we're going to take a break right now and come back. Max has the music for the week. Music from the great state of Michigan.
Oh, he turned on me.
Yeah, he did turn on.
Went from Ohio to Michigan.
And don't forget what's on tap, and that includes Jerry Brewer and the Bob and Jeff draft. Now brought to you again by IHOP. It's the IHOP hotline. Stop in and try the cinnamon apple pecan pancakes. That's a lot of stuff to get in a pancake. I'm sure they're outstanding. We'll be back. We'll talk with Washington Post columnist Jerry Brewer next.
Call from mom. Answer it. Call silenced.
Instacart knows nothing gets between you and the game. That's why they make ordering from your couch easy. Stock up today and get all your groceries for the week delivered in as fast as 30 minutes without missing a minute of the game.
You have 47 new voicemails.
Download the app to get free delivery on your first 3 orders while supplies last. Minimum $10 per order. Additional terms apply.
Save on Cox Internet when you add Cox Mobile and get fiber-powered internet at home and unbeatable 5G reliability on the go. So whether you're playing a game at home,
Yes, goal.
or attending one live, you can do more without spending more. Learn how to save at cox.com/internet. Cox Internet is connected to the premises via coaxial cable. Cox Mobile runs on the network with unbeatable 5G reliability as measured by Ookla LLC in the U.S. 2H 2023. Results may vary, not an endorsement. Other restrictions apply.
Have you ever covered a carpet stain with a rug? Ignored a leaky faucet? Pretended your half-painted living room is supposed to look that way? Well, you're not alone. We've all got unfinished home projects. Whether it's a door that sticks, or a disorganized closet, or an AC unit that only works half the time. It all matters. You just haven't taken care of it yet. But there's an easier way. Just download the Thumbtack app. You can search for what you need done and find tons of highly rated pros right in your neighborhood. Check prices, reviews, and book a pro right on the spot. Plus, you'll know what to tackle next, because Thumbtack is the app that shows you what to do, who to hire, and when. Pull out your phone and in just a few taps, say goodbye to all those unfinished home projects and say hello to caring for your home the easier way. Download Thumbtack and start a project today.
This is the Bob and Jeff Show on 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
1, 2, 3 o'clock.
Here is Jerry Brewer, columnist for the Washington Post. He's in town here in Wichita to work. He's working on a story about the impact of Jackie Robinson, and League 42 is a part of that story. Jerry, welcome. How are you today?
I am doing great. First time I've spent any real time in Wichita, so I've had a great experience so far.
Yeah. So what are your thoughts about Wichita? I know you're staying down in Old Town. You arrived, I believe it was sometime yesterday. You're flying out tomorrow. What have you seen? What have you done?
Really just obviously, like the Kentuckian in me, I'm gonna find bourbon everywhere. So I had a glass of bourbon. Went to the pump house, walked around. We went to Meddy's, the Mediterranean place today. Had some Vietnamese food. There's a French restaurant that's really good. I hear here that I would love to go to, but might be a little tied up tonight.
So, Jerry, you do a lot as far as writing columns for the Washington Post. You cover games. You write about cultural stuff. You write about the larger issues in sports. What about this story here in Wichita and Jackie Robinson overall kind of resonated with you?
Yeah, I think one of the things that resonated with me is there's this real battle, I think, in the United States right now about our history and whose history should be represented how. And obviously there's, for the entire history of our country, I think we've been fighting about symbols. Like, I think we're a little too much into symbols and sometimes forget about the meaning behind them. And so that brought me to the statue. I think that there was such a national looking at it from the outside in, when the statue was stolen and we figured out all that happened, I think from the outside, first of all, like there's about a dozen sort of little remembrances around the country of Jackie Robinson. And I don't think like it was common knowledge to people that there was in Wichita. And then you sort of connect it and you understand what League 42 is about and what League 42 is trying to do. And I think we just kind of felt like everybody sort of agreed on Jackie Robinson. And to think that he wasn't sacred enough for someone to realize like, hey, I should leave that alone. I think that kind of rankled and bothered like a lot of people around the country. And I think that's why everyone took just this heightened interest in it. And what's happened since then has reminded you of the beauty of sport and how communities beyond just the community that you're in will embrace you during difficult times. And I think we all need some of that inspiration in our life.
Jerry Brewer is our guest. He's a sports columnist with the Washington Post in Wichita for part of a story he's doing about Jackie Robinson. And when you, Jerry, when you described that story to me this morning, it has a few facets. Go ahead and describe what those are, because it's very intriguing, the story you're wanting and trying to tell here.
Yeah, I want to do a story that's about protecting legacy. And so I'm taking that from a macro standpoint of all of us and Jackie Robinson, but then I wanted to take it to more of an interpersonal, really intimate look at protecting legacies. And I don't want to make you emotional, Bob, but I mean, that statue ties you to your late friend, John Parsons. And there's another story about Jackie Robinson that I am telling that's going to kind of come together in this piece about a late author by the name of Barbara Cohen, and how her daughters connect through Jackie Robinson to her legacy, because she wrote a book called Thank You, Jackie Robinson. And there's just I've gotten to know some of the Robinson family and how Rachel Robinson at 101 years old, how the family has passed down the meaning of Jackie and the meaning of service to them, and how it's mandatory in their family that they do something for others. And they don't look at that as an obligation. They look at it as a source of pride. So I'm trying to have a bunch of these there's a lot of umbrellas I'm trying to hold in this story, and I hope that it just doesn't lift me off into the air somewhere. But
it would be fitting if that happened in Kansas with the Wizard of Oz. You know that, right?
Yes, exactly. I mean, when I turned on the weather today and saw like wind gusts up to 35, I'm sure that doesn't surprise you all here, but I was like, oh my goodness, I might fly away. But it's about just the legacy that lives within us, and legacy, once again, I think sometimes people think of legacy as this overbearing responsibility that you have to live up to. The dictionary definition of legacy is what is passed down. And so when you get that baton, first of all, you have to choose to take it. And then secondly, you have to move it as far as you can and pass it down to someone else. And so looking at it from that standpoint, I think is going to be maybe a dimension that people don't consider. And I don't think we always think about Jackie Robinson as personal to each and every one of us. But hopefully when you're done reading this piece, if we do it correctly, you will think of it that way.
So, the police have kind of determined that this was not a racially motivated crime, but like you said, it's almost like is nothing sacred anymore. So how do you separate that element of it, the what Jackie Robinson means, with just some guy who wanted scrap metal? I mean, it's a weird line to me.
Right, and at that point we're taking someone at their word as opposed to like really understanding what their true intentions might have been. I think there's a lot of nuance, and we don't want to conflate things. However, I look at it as part of this is a bit of a call to action to realize like that there's sort of this physical destroying of something that is a treasure in the city, but it also turns into a call to action to the actual legacy of Jackie Robinson, to protect that. And what are we willing to do to understand him better, to help pass the story along, not in a sanitized manner, but in a truthful manner, even the difficult parts that reveal the ugly aspects of our country. What are we willing to do there to really understand that? Because the story of Jackie Robinson in so many ways is a story, if you understand it correctly, you understand our country correctly. You understand the difficulties our country has had. You understand the sins of our country, but then you also understand the beauty of our country. And it's the all of it that matters. You can't just pick and choose what makes you feel good. You need to understand the all of it. And if ever there was something that symbolized that, it's this moment, what has happened over the past few months in Wichita. And you start to realize that when you look at things on a deeper level, yes, you can destroy a physical object, but it takes a lot more to destroy the spirit of something.
Talking here with Jerry Brewer from the Washington Post. It's very humbling for me to have you in town along. What's the name of your photographer?
Jahi.
Yeah. It's really humbling to me and our organization that you're in town. Same way with the ESPN crew that was in town over the weekend, and Anthony Oliveri from ESPN.com. and just like I said, it's humbling. So you're going to be out at our opening night tonight, where we have 8 games scheduled. Stay away, rain. We talked about that earlier. So what are you looking for from some of the folks who are going to be out there tonight?
Just community, really understanding, getting a better sense of what the soul of that neighborhood is like. Obviously I'm curious about, with this being opening night, like what the emotions might be coming off of a really difficult time. But ultimately you want to see the game and the people around the game who come together, and you want to feel that energy of sports. And I'm excited. I have covered many Jackie Robinson days, from the T-Mobile ballpark in Seattle, or Dodger Stadium, or this ballpark or that ballpark. But to be able to do it here, there's just something profound about it, to realize that we think so much when we talk about sports. We think about the major college football and basketball markets. when we think about the pro cities. And it's not often enough that we think about Wichita, Kansas. And recently I was in Huntsville, Alabama, and other places like that really help you kind of understand the soul of sports and the broader reach of sports. I think it's important to listen to what people who don't have a dog in the fight but still have sporting passion, what they have to say. And then to just get back to kind of that grassroots feel, like Bob, just being in your office talking to you about the St. Louis Cardinals, sharing this connection that we have about Bob Gibson and the 1968 remarkable season that he had.
Go ahead and tell us about that season. I know you want to. Go ahead, Jerry.
I'll tell you about that season because I'm obsessed with it because 1968, one of the most tumultuous times in American history. Bob Gibson goes 22-9, 112 ERA, strikes out 268 in 304 innings, 34 starts, 28 complete games, 13 shutouts. I think it's just the most line I've ever seen, and it's modern enough to where it doesn't feel like it's grainy to us, even though 1968 was a good while ago. So I'm just obsessed with that, with him, with the courage or just the fortitude it took to be able to play that well under those conditions in American society. Like, that is what sports is all about when it starts to teach us greater lessons. And so I'm always excited to nerd out about Bob Gibson.
I could listen to you recite those numbers 100 times, but then you ruined everything when you told me you're a Cubs fan. So we'll try to move beyond that.
I'm not as big of
Jerry,
one as I was growing up.
Okay, you're back in my good graces. Jerry, I really appreciate you guys being in town and using League 42 as an element of this great story you're going to tell about Jackie Robinson and his impact. Look forward to seeing you tonight. Be sure and hit up our concession stand. They have tremendous hamburgers and hot dogs.
Oh, I'm trying to watch my diet, but I think I'm going to break it for one night just for you.
All right, we'll see you later, Jerry.
Okay, thank you.
All right, Jerry Brewer, columnist for the Washington Post, and what can I say? Schoolie's here. It's John. Hello, John. Welcome to the hotline.
Hi, Bob. How are you all doing today?
We're doing well. Thank you for asking.
We had a tweet, and I don't remember when it was because days, sometimes run together. It was about the Cardinals broadcast and how they, really embellish a turd sometimes. I wanted to relate to you on that because I can tell you from being a Royals fan last year was that horribly. They had a record-tying loss year last year, and I would watch Ryan Lefevre and Rex Hudler make excuses constantly and praising, oh, he had a good catch there. This is just a great team. We're about to turn the corner and make evaluation your excuses crap now. And it seems like to me a lot of local broadcasts for Major League Baseball, at least I can't talk on other sports as much, do this now where it's just constant praise, never criticism, no matter how bad the play is on the field, no matter how bad management is, no matter how bad the team is. So I just kind of wanted you to stretch on that and tell you you're not alone.
Yeah, it can be maddening. I appreciate it because they take us to be dummies out here who are watching these games. We see the warts and everything going wrong, and it'd be nice for them to acknowledge that, yeah, this is pretty disappointing. It's pretty disappointing for the Cardinals to start 7-9 after a 91-loss season. It's okay. Your face isn't going to burn off if you mention that. You can tell the truth. Thank you for the call, John. I appreciate it.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you.
But the Royals broadcasters, I don't listen to them.
Well, sometimes you have to.
But I'll tell you this. Yeah, you have to. But I'll tell you this. They're doing exactly what I thought they would do so far this year. If you'll remember me talking about
Finishing
that.
second behind the Guardians?
I said they'd be much improved.
Okay.
You
sure
scoffed
did.
at that idea.
Well, I didn't. I scoffed at it based on the people they signed. And we'll see how it ends up for Seth Lugo and Michael Waka. But the real thunder is coming from Witt, Pasquantino, Melendez, Salvador Perez, Michael Garcia, guys that were there last year who needed to reach another level and have. Well,
and
maybe
don't
not
forget
Salvi.
about Cole Reagans, who's a bona fide ace. And Brady Singer's pitching like a legitimate number 2. So if you go into let's say the Royals were in a playoff series. I'm not saying they will be. Still a lot of things to be shown. But if you can now roll out Reagans, Singer, and Lugo as your 3, you're competitive with anybody in baseball.
Potentially.
And if you got the offense to support that, and they get their bullpen turned around, which their bullpen's been better of late, not necessarily Chris Stratton yesterday, who's former Cardinal. I could have told them they were barking up the wrong tree there. But they look like they have some lasting power. They look like they could be around.
Maybe.
Well, I heard you say on this show, what day was I off? Friday?
Friday.
I almost turned my car into an embankment. You said that the Royals were better than the Guardians.
On Friday they were. Today's Monday, they're not.
See that? Well, how can
things
people
change.
even trust you?
They don't need to trust
me. Why would
me.
people listen to you?
Why wouldn't they?
Why would they not tune into this show saying, you know who's going to give us the real deal is Bob. You know who's going to jump all over depending on his emotions of the day?
Yeah.
It's going to be Jeff.
I prefer to be that guy.
But they hadn't even lost to the Yankees then. They were 9-3.
No. Were they?
Yeah.
How about that?
They were rained out that day. But you said on this show
just because of the offense
that the Royals were better than the Guardians.
I think their offense might be a little probably not though.
Go ahead and say it for me.
There's nothing
don't
to say.
Don't just say it for Duda.
No, I don't
Duda
believe
doesn't care. You know what his reaction would be? Well, the Royals have Bobby Witt. He's on my fantasy team.
I don't think Bobby Witt is on his fantasy team.
Just make me want to regurgitate.
Although Michael Garcia is on my fantasy team.
Why would anybody have a fantasy baseball team?
Why not?
If you're a big fan of a team, I don't want to even care about what somebody else does. You know what I'm saying?
I get it.
So why would you delve in?
You just delve in. It's not. I'm not rooting for other players.
Oh, you are.
It's faceless.
You are.
It's faceless to me. I'm rooting for points. I'm rooting for getting statistics. I don't care who they come from. If they just happen to be on my fantasy team, then great.
Name a Guardian you have on your fantasy.
Josh Naylor.
Who else?
Tanner Bybee.
Who else?
That's it.
That's it. Two guys.
I had Bo Naylor, but
2 guys.
Yeah.
That's despicable.
Sorry.
You're not a fan. You know, back in my day.
Who else should I have?
When I played Stratomatic baseball, I only played as the Cardinals.
Oh, good for you. And I doubt that's true.
When somebody played against me, they were playing the Cardinals.
Okay, what's your point?
I never strayed from them. I never included.
Not straying.
I never included anybody outside of the Cardinals. I just didn't want anything to do with them.
Well, as I said, it's not that I'm rooting necessarily for individuals. I'm rooting for stats. And
let's see where else I may have been right in my baseball.
Well, I don't even remember what you
I
prognosticated.
I said that Detroit would be much better. They are. I'm not sure how much better yet. They're better.
They can't hit.
No, nobody can hit.
I can hit.
The Royals can hit.
Guardians hit.
They don't hit. And you know
it. Yes, they do.
They don't hit. What are they hitting as a team?
308, something like that.
308. Are you out of your mind? The Guardians as a team are batting .254, which in today's game isn't too bad. It's certainly a heck of a lot better than the Cardinals. .254, and I'm praising that. That's how bad offense has gotten. But .254, I'd kill for that right now.
Yeah.
The Cardinals are batting .230. Embarrassing. That's embarrassing. I mean, I know it's only 16 games, but you got a clean house. Who's going to be traded at the deadline?
From the Cardinals?
Yes.
Well, Nolan Arenado is as good as
so
gone.
much money left on his deal.
Well, he needs to start performing maybe to be traded. I don't know. Do you have anybody that's even tradable?
The Royals are hitting .250 as a team.
Yikes.
But they have an OPS of 741 as a team, which is pretty good.
What's the Guardians?
I don't know. I don't care about the Guardians.
I'm just curious. Is all.
We've only got 3 months to the trade deadline.
You're already thinking about that?
Actually, longer.
It's August 1st. It's 3.5 months.
They could potentially trade everybody.
Who?
You know, the Cardinals are in a spot where they could do a quick rebuild here. They've never done a rebuild as long as I've known them, in the traditional sense, where you just strip it down. But the rebuild would need to include the firing of John Mozeliak as director of
GMs
baseball.
rarely get fired anymore.
He needs to get fired.
Team presidents.
He needs to get fired. And they need to move on. And I will have give me 3 weeks. 3 weeks from today, I will tell you exactly what needs to happen with the Cardinals.
3 weeks?
Yeah, I want to give it 3 weeks.
Okay.
They'll play in the neighborhood of 20 more games. They'll be close to 40 games, close to a quarter of the season. That's when you can really start to make judgments.
Is Jordan Walker on the table?
That's when you can really start to make judgments.
Not a no. Guy needs
He's not on the table now. He can't hit.
Well, the guy needs a change of scenery already, I think. You ruined him.
No, if you're that weak, you can't be ruined. Nobody ruins anything.
You're not ready. You're not ready. And calling him up to begin the season, sending him down, ruined him.
Nobody's ruined. I refuse to believe anybody can be ruined. You got to persevere through difficulties. They told me to hit more fly balls. No, I don't want to hear it. You understand? Did I ruin you as a baseball player?
How so? Probably, but I'm
willing. Your answer might be more profound.
I mean, it's likely, but I'm still wanting to listen your reasons.
No, I didn't ruin you. I helped you.
I ruined me, but it's fine.
Yeah. You ruined you.
I did.
You lost your love for the game.
Maybe.
You lost your love for playing the game.
Yeah, probably.
Which is a shame. A dirty, rotten shame.
Yeah, well, it happens.
It shouldn't.
Well, people can take it out of you.
You pointing a finger at me?
No.
You're a coach in Ohio.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have empowered him to that degree.
Well, I know that now, but as a 17-year-old kid, you don't know that.
Why didn't you come to me and talk to me about it?
Because I was 17. I don't know that. I'm not an adult. I don't make those kind of decisions. Now I would absolutely destroy him, but back then, no recourse.
Oh well.
As a child,
we make the best of situations.
He recently retired.
Good for him.
Might have been a while ago, but he was celebrated. I thought it was a joke.
All right, it is Michigan Week here with the music, and the hotline's now sponsored. Once again, welcome back to IHOP. Stop in and try their cinnamon apple pecan pancakes. We'll be back with hour number 2. We've got a Bob and Jeff draft. We'll announce the topic for that draft coming up after this.
Save on Cox Internet when you add Cox Mobile and get fiber-powered internet at home and unbeatable 5G reliability on the go. So whether you're playing a game at home,
Yes, goal.
or attending one live, you can do more without spending more. Learn how to save at cox.com/internet. Cox Internet is connected to the premises via coaxial cable. Cox Mobile runs on the network with unbeatable 5G reliability as measured by Ookla LLC in the U.S. 2H 2023. Results may vary, not an endorsement. Other restrictions apply.
It's a great day to venture out in a spacious and capable Toyota SUV. Like the new RAV4. With available all-wheel drive, it can go just about anywhere. And with plenty of passenger and cargo space, you'll go from morning carpool to weekend road trip without missing a beat. Plus, with available features like wireless charging and a touchscreen interface, your Toyota RAV4 will keep you connected no matter where you're going. Or check out a spacious Highlander. With seating for up to 8, it's a hub for family adventure. You'll drive in comfort and style with available heated and ventilated seats and all the latest tech. And with available hybrid models, your new Highlander can save you tons on gas. Right now, your local Toyota dealer has more vehicles in stock and is making delivery on new vehicles almost every day. So don't wait. Buy a RAV4 or Highlander today. Visit buyatoyota.com for deals and more. Toyota. Let's go places.
We really need new phones.
T-Mobile will cover the cost of 4 amazing new iPhone 15s, and each line is only $25 a month.
New iPhone 15s?
It's better over here. Only at T-Mobile, get 4 iPhone 15s on us and 4 lines for $25 per line per month with eligible trade-in when you switch.
Minimum of 4 lines for $25 per line per month with autopay discount using debit or bank account. $5 more per line without autopay, plus taxes and fees. Phone fee at 24 monthly bill credits for well-qualified customers. Contact us before canceling account to continue bill credits or credit stop and balance on required finance agreement due. $35 per line connection charge applies. See T-Mobile.com.